Always great catching up with Miles Johns, who's going to be back in action at UFC Fight Night on Halloween night. Miles, how's it going, man? Great catching up with you.
It's going great, man. How you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you back in action, like I was mentioning. And we haven't seen you since February, obviously, and then COVID-19 hit. I got to know how much was your training impacted by that when it first started? Because I know a lot of the Fortis guys couldn't get access to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, it was impacted. We weren't able to get to the gym, like you said, but luckily, I have a little setup in my garage. I got some pretty good mats and a heavy bag and a lot of the equipment I need to get my workouts in. And then my younger brother lives right down the street, so he was able to come in, and we were still able to get some sparring and moving in and stuff. So it was impacted, but I think it just seemed like things were rolling so fast. We were driving down this fast highway, and the wheels were kind of getting loose. So it was kind of nice to be able to take a step back, get a little breath of fresh air, and just kind of fall back in love with the whole process and learning new things and everything like that. So I was absolutely happy to get back to the gym when I was able to. But the break was kind of nice, and I stayed sharp and added some new skills to the arsenal. So.
And now we'll talk about your fight in just one second here, but I do got to mention you're in a hotel right now. You're going to be cornering for LFA. It's your brother who's fighting, right? Who are you there for?
Yeah, my younger brother, he's fighting. It's his 7th professional fight. So, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you about him. I'm surprised he didn't get a call for Contender Series just with his record and everything. Or did he want to stay with LFA and maybe have more of a shine on him, so to speak, because he's fought for LFA a bunch of times?
Yeah, he does have a good record, but and skill-wise, I think he's absolutely ready for the UFC. But there's no need to rush it, I don't think. A lot of people are getting pulled in pretty quick with this whole COVID thing. But we definitely want to make sure that he's fully matured as a fighter, got all the experience he needs when he jumps in there. Because when he jumps in, I expect him to make a run and be at the top of the ranking soon. So, we're happy to be where we're at right now. I think he's going to have a great fight tomorrow night. I think it's going to put him on the map even more. And I think a contender fight probably next summer is what we're kind of planning on right now. So we'll see how everything goes. Skill-wise, he's ready. We got a lot of 45ers in the gym that are in the UFC, and he can definitely fight with these guys. So we'll just have to see how it goes.
Let's talk about your last fight quickly. First time you and I have done an interview talking about a loss. What did you take away the most from that performance? Because you were looking good, and then obviously, you didn't get the result you wanted.
I took away a couple things, like technical things, but mostly I think I just gained a sense of freedom as a fighter. Even immediately after the fight, it was just like a overwhelming sense of freedom that I had. I don't know. I've been on a run for a while now, and not every fighter has to go through it, but I think I really needed to go through that and experience that to really tap into my true potential and become the fighter that I'm supposed to be. And I've never felt more like I'm going to be a world champion than immediately after that fight. It was just and that's what I told Joe right when I got up. I was like, okay, I'm going to be a world champion now. It's kind of hard to explain, but it's just been a whole different thing this whole camp and ever since that. And I'm just ready to go out there and perform, man. I didn't really feel a lot of pressure of that, of the undefeated record or anything when I was going in there, but it was obviously something that was kind of suppressing, and that would just kind of freed me up,
Yeah, the pressure's off. You don't have to worry about having this undefeated record. There is something that sort of goes with that. So I can understand what you're sort of talking about from that perspective. And then one more thing I wanted to ask you before this fight. How cool was that to see your teammate Damon Jackson get that big win in a just a crazy debut with short notice? He goes out there, gets the finish. We know Damon quite well, obviously. I've been interviewing him for a while, but just to see him get that first UFC win must have been cool for you as a teammate.
Yeah, man, I'm definitely not a guy who really wears my heart on my sleeve or anything like that. But for me, that just brought tears to my eyes, man. This dude is a true definition of perseverance. And I was beyond happy for him, man. I was in my house going absolutely crazy. And it's also because it's something that I've always known he has a skill set to do. He's had a couple tough breaks, and I was in his corner in that fight in PFL when it was that props to his opponent just threw the absolutely perfect knee 13 seconds into the fight, and I was there for him during his first run in the UFC, and when he got cut, I didn't really think he should have. He had kind of a tough go with that, especially his first fight being Yency Medeiros. So we just been grinding together, and this man has never given up, even when other people have thought, like, man, I don't know where he's going to go from here. Like, even myself, there's been times like it's like I don't know where he's going to go from here. Is he going to keep going, or is he, the guy has 4 girls. Like, I mean, he has a family and stuff. So seeing that and seeing him get the bonus, man, it gives me goosebumps right now. Like, I'm just so flipping happy for that guy, and he's top. It should be like top 25 in the world right now. So the future is bright, and yeah, that was definitely like a pick me up that I think the gym really needed at the time.
Let's talk about your opponent here, Kevin Natividad. 9-1 record, pretty tough guy. There's no easy fights in the UFC, as you know. How do you feel like you match up against him here?
I feel like it's a great matchup. I feel like it's a great matchup for the fans too. He's the type of guy who's going to come forward. He likes to use his jab and his overhand right and his hook, and we got similar styles. He can wrestle as well. Kind of a shorter, stockier guy. Seems strong. So I think it's a great matchup. I know that he hasn't fought the guys that I fought. I know I have more experience than him, and I think I'm the better fighter all around. So I know I'm going to get my hand raised, but mostly I'm just ready to go out there and perform, man. I'm ready to go out there and be free. Nobody has seen me when I'm free and I'm just fighting my fight, and I'm so excited to do that on October 31st.
Talked about your brother, who have been some of your main training partners for this camp.
I've been going with JP Baez, who has a Contender Series fight here in, I think it's like 5 weeks, and his wife, Cheyenne Baez, just got her contract not too long ago. Fernie Garcia has been helping me out a ton. He's going to be fighting for LFA on October 30th, so the night before I fight, I get to watch him get his win, and that'll be awesome. I've been going with Austin Lingo, who's obviously lost in the UFC his debut, but it's a tough debut against Yusuf Salal, and he's going to be ready to come back and make big waves in that division. Of course, Damon Jackson, Steven Peterson, all these guys, man, they've all been there for me. And then I've been doing a lot of strength conditioning also with Uriah Hall, who's obviously headlining that card. We just vibe really well. He's been showing me a lot of things. He has a really loose, awesome stand-up style, and sometimes I can be a little tight and a little tense. So he's been giving me a lot of great pointers in that field and stuff, and he's just a great dude to work with, has tons of wisdom. So, I love everybody at Fortis and my strength conditioning coach, Mike Chiesa. They're just I got a great support system in that. So it's awesome being here for my little brother, too, for this fight. From one, I'm excited for his fight. I think he's really about to step into his true potential, and I think things are about to start getting going for him, like Contender Series coming up, UFC soon. But it's also great to just be in the hotel, be in the quarantine. I did the weight cut with him and stuff, got my weight low. Just going through the whole process, man, brings me into the fight, and it's going to seem not as brand new here in 2 weeks. So it's been really fun.
Now, if I remember correctly, your corner when you were in Vancouver last year, because I was at that fight, you had Safe and you had your brother. Is that the same thing for this fight as well, or are you having anyone else in there?
Yep, I have Safe, Coach Safe, my brother, and then I also have my strength conditioning coach, Mike Chiesa, who's just really, he's more than a strength conditioning coach for me. Like, we really click really well, and he does a lot of my mobility and everything like that. And that was the fight that I was coming off of, the first fight after I tore my groin. So mobility and getting back to 100% was real important for that fight camp. And ever since then, we've just been vibing, and I bring him with me for every fight now as well.
How's this fight playing out? You feel like you're going to get your hand raised otherwise. Well, I signed the contract, but how do you envision the fight unfolding?
I feel like it's going to be a fun fight for the fans. I feel like we're both going to go out there. We don't like backing up. I think we're going to toe the line, and we're just gonna do it, man. We're just going to go in there and both do our thing. And I think once those later rounds start coming, everybody's always talking about UFC jitters and the nerves and that, and in the debut. The kid's Hawaiian. He's going to come out there ready to fight. He's going to be fired up at the beginning, But once those later rounds come, round 2, round 3, I think that's when the experience come. You realize you're in a firefight with somebody who's not backing down at all. So I expect him make a little mistake, and I'm going to catch him either on the feet, on the ground, whatever, wherever it goes. I know that my experience is going to come through, and I'm looking to finish this fight.
Are you watching any Netflix or playing any video games during training camp?
Yeah, I'm not really a big video game guy, but I do love watching movies with my wife, and my brother and I, when we have downtime in here, kind of watching some war movies, that type of stuff. But I love to just my kids aren't here right now, so that's a little a little break. I miss them, but they do take a lot of my time up, the downtime in that, going to parks, going on walks, which I love doing with them, getting my mind off of things. But I like to just stretch and roll out and, just be at peace, just put the fight away for a little bit. Because when I'm training, which I do a lot, I'm full focus. I'm all the way there. So just relax.
Are you a little disappointed that this is Halloween night and you guys can't dress up during the week unless Reebok was to make you some sort of outfits? I think that would be so cool. Like, at least during like the media day or something, you should be allowed to wear a costume, I think.
That would be cool. I was a little sad that I'm not going to be there to trick or treat with my kids, but luckily, out of all years to miss trick or treating, it'd probably be this
with
year.
COVID, yeah, no kidding, yeah,
how that's going to go. So I'm hoping that Vegas has some cool things for them to see. They just love seeing like Halloween decorations, spooky stuff. So hopefully my wife be able to take them to some fun places there because they're still going to go. My wife's birthday is the day after my fight. So they got an Airbnb, a pretty sick Airbnb. So we'll stay there for the day after and celebrate her birthday. And hopefully after I get this finished, I'm going to tell Dana, hey, I got another baby coming on the way in December. My wife's birthday is the day after. That 50K would really help my family out right now. So we'll see what happens.
I didn't know that. You're going to have another kid. Congrats, man.
Yeah, thank you. He's due in December. So
what day? I got to know because I'm a December birthday too. But mine's at the end of the month, so probably not that late.
December 13th is his due date.
Okay.
But my wife's a vet now. She's a pro with it. Her last one was natural birth, and she got him out of there like right when we got to the birthing center. So I got a feeling he's going to be coming a little bit sooner than that. So.
Good stuff.
But she doesn't think so. We'll see what happens.
Early Christmas present. That's great. Miles, thanks so much for the time, man. Always a pleasure. Best of luck, obviously, tonight with your brother, and looking forward to your fight coming up here, Halloween night. Anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media, the floor is yours.
Hey, I just want to thank you for your time. I'm always watching you. You're doing great, improving every time. So always good to talk to you because that means we're getting ready to scrap soon. So.